Bring Your Own Book. This is a game that I didn't know anything about until recently when I was looking online for games that can be played remotely, given the difficult days of social distancing that we're all experiencing. And so I learned about Bring Your Own Book that apparently could be played on Zoom. And I played it that way with adult friends. It works very well. So if you're also looking for games to play remotely, this game works great. Look at the adorable box that looks like a book, even with the bookmark. This is definitely a game for people who love books, who know books very well. It requires a little bit of preparation. As the title says, this is a game where you will bring your own book. That is, before the game starts, each player must choose one or more books that they will use, and each player will have their own book and they will use that as a game component. How cool is that? Say, for example, of course, surprising no one, I played with the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft. Other people had all sort of books that, well, this would be a book that you know very well. If you like it, then it's more fun and you're more passionate. A friend had a book of like poems that they published together with some friends when they were like 12 years old, and there was really weird stuff in there. Another was a book of self-help. We had classics, we had all sort of weird stuff, and that part of the fun. You get to know your friends more based on the selections that they make. The game comes with two really cool bookmarks, but then the real heart of the game is prompt cards. This is just to give you a look at the inside of the box. We have a timer. Also, we have the rules that are also printed on cards, and there are different variants, and we play the democratic rules. Again, this is a game where you just put all of your friends on Zoom, each in a different window. One player must own a copy of the game. You have some blank cards in case you want to write your own prompts, but then the main game is about the prompt that you already have here. So, super simple. Each turn, a player will be the picker. And I'm telling you about the democratic rules, which are the ones that I like and pretty much the only ones that I play. But that's if you want to play some of the variants, there are such variants. So a card is drawn. And a card is drawn and showed to the picker. Again, on Zoom, you can simply show it to the camera. The picker will choose one of the two possible things. In this card, the picker will choose between something you lie awake thinking about tonight, or a repeated lyric in a techno dance song, or the words that bring an end to an argument, lyrics from a power ballad like Journey. I don't even know what that means. The award-winning moment in a dramatic film, part of a wedding toast, passage from a religious text, a name of a trendy mixed drink. But if you chose the Bible, that seems okay. But if you choose Lovecraft, that would also work. If you choose, well, anything. And that's pretty much the point. The idea is to find something in the book or books that you chose that matches this as much as possible, possibly in a witty, fun, interesting way. The moment in a horror novel before someone goes missing, part of a birthday message, something we're all thinking but are too afraid to say. I think I love this one. A pickup line. Ooh, this is hot stuff. Statement likely to be challenged, you presented as fact. The moment in a western when gunfighters have a showdown. Words that a zombie will groan after saying brains 50 times. Something yelled at a broken machine. A sentence that's funnier when you replace one word with pants. Strange first words for a child, and so on and so forth. This is the heart of the game. Once the picker picks one of the prompts, then everybody at the same time, including the picker, looks at their book and they're looking for a word, a sentence, a passage, a part of a sentence that matches that prompt. You can choose a part of a sentence, but it has to be a sequential string of words. You cannot choose beginning or end. When a player is satisfied with their selection, they put on the book, they cannot touch it anymore, they cannot change their selection, but they say, I've got it. At that point, we start the timer, and everybody else has this much time to find a passage that you're happy with. When the time is over, the time is over, time's out. Time's up, and the players that don't have a passage will have to open the book randomly and select a random passage. At that point, everybody chooses their passage, and then we think about it a little bit and we vote. In real life, you would all vote at the same time, 1, 2, 3, pointing your finger towards your favorite passage. On Zoom, of course, what do we do? Everybody has a flashcard, you write down the name, and we show to the camera the name of the person we are voting for at the same time. And then you laugh, and then you chat, and then you talk, and then you comment, why did you choose that line? What was the problem? What was the challenge? I mean, why did you choose a line for your own selection? Why did you vote for a certain thing? The game, you're immediately thinking, oh, Cards Against Humanity, but for people who like books and are not jerks. That's a perfect description. That's exactly how I would describe it. A game where you're using prompts to create situations, to create content which is funny, which is witty, which is entertaining, which tells you something about the person that makes it, which tells you something about the people that like it. But there are games such as Cards Against Humanity, which I don't like at all, where basically just the most outrageous, racist, sexist, ableist, whatever else bad-ist you can think of, whoever produces the most bad-ist content, will get a laugh out of other people, not from me, and probably will win that round. I like games that create the kind of creativity, that stimulate the kind of creativity, that get people to bring their own ideas in a fun and witty way without all of that negativity, without the toxicity that you have there, and bring your own book does precisely that. You have all of the fun idea of creating this fun content, of seeing friends sharing weird ideas, fun things, of then talking about it, etc., etc., etc. This is really one of those games that is much more than the sum of the parts, much more the sum of the components. All games, of course, you need to add players to see how they work, but there are games with strict rules in which the player is more constrained. Games that have such simple rules and allow players to express themselves, of course, we think of them as party games, which they are. And they can be so amusing, they can be so fun and exciting. You can play it with anybody who knows how to read. We even played it with young children that could barely read, and they had one of those large box with huge illustrations, minimal text about bears doing weird stuff. You can play with anybody who knows how to read, but of course you will want to play with people that love to read, with people that enjoy the process. Yes, a game where you don't have to be worried about your verbosity, about the fact that you like books and you would score high on the linguistic part of the GRE. You don't have to be ashamed because you know words such as obombulate or bowdlerize. And so, it's a great game. We enjoyed it so much. So many laughters, and all good, all part of the joy of hanging out together, of creating these fun ideas, and simply put, the joy of sharing the literary experience. You like books, and sometimes every stereotype associated with people who love books, of course, has a negative stereotype about social challenges, being socially challenged, and so on and so forth. No, this is a game where the more you read, the more you love to read, the more socially apt and ready you are. And that is really awesome. We love it. We love this game. We can't wait to play it again. And again, in the difficult times of social distancing that we're all experiencing, this is a great game because you work perfectly on Zoom, on Skype, on FaceTime, whatever format you have to talk to people far from home. And then maybe at home you have a lot of bibliophiles, including yourself, then you can play with your family. But for example, this doesn't work as well in my family. but he works with friends that are far, and it was a way for me to reconnect. Again, it's just fun to play games that are all about strategy and things like that on Zoom, but games that have that sort of like simple, fun, light, visceral appeal that party games have. I was really happy to have this experience and I was able to have thanks to Bring Your Own Book. I like it very much. Simple side note, do not buy it on Amazon, at least as of now. For some reason, they're only selling the German edition, so unless you that's your thing, that's your jam, then you're fine. Another thing I want to say, actually, there's also a game that may have pedagogical value. I can see people that teach literature using their classes. Everybody has their own book, and then actually you immediately see the student that did their reading well. So I see pedagogical value, but most importantly, there's great social value because this game is really fun. Buy from the publisher directly because they will send you the English version, if that's what you're looking for. But in any case, Bring Your Own Book, really, really fun.